All right, following on Remembrances and Open Mic, I want to bring up Josh Gould. And he has a presentation of his own, but I want to say that a lot of times you don't know how you impact history. And there was a turning point in the 60s at the 1968 political convention in Chicago. And maybe Josh will tell us a little bit about why the police felt they had no backup and had to act as violently as they did. If he doesn't get to it, I'll talk about it later.
I've been moved by the remembrances, the poetry, the anecdotes, the humor, celebrating the life of this incredible warrior. And at the same time, I recognize it's important to celebrate this life. It sucks to be here. It sucks that we have to have this memorial. My journey with Jay began in May of 1968. The world was in turmoil. Revolutions were sweeping across Asia, Africa, and Latin America. The U.S. was waging a war of aggression against the people of Vietnam. In cities across the U.S., there had been massive uprisings against racial oppression. A movement against the war in Vietnam had become national. Even within the U.S. military, there were individual acts of resistance. From Fort Dix to Fort Lewis to Fort Jackson, GGIs had said no to this war. It was against the backdrop of that there began in army towns, small towns, mainly in the South, I had gone in small towns adjacent to military bases that began to develop GI coffee houses. I had gone to Leesville, Louisiana to try and open one near Fort Polk. Leesville was known as Diseaseville by most of the GIs there. I got a call that there was going to be a conference of volunteers who wanted to commit to joining the staff of these coffee houses. I was told there was going to be around 200 to 300 people, and off I went. Well, the conference was a little smaller than 300. In fact, there were 3 people, including Jay. Jay mentioned that she was involved in the civil rights movement and had been in Mississippi in 1964. I asked, "Oh, were you with SCLC, MLK's organization?" Jay gave me a look like I spit on her best shoes. "No," she said, "I was with SNCC." Thus began my decades-long journey with this incredible warrior. When we got to Fort Polk, we summed up that it was clearly going to be too tough a nut to crack. So we moved west. We had heard that the coffee house in Killeen, Texas at Fort Hood had opened and they were needing staff. So we headed west. Well, we arrived on a Wednesday and learned that after opening on the coffee house on that Monday, they were leaving on Saturday, July 4th. And they had pulled together a large love-in at the local park. Well, the event was attacked by local civilian thugs named Go Ropers. Welcome to the beginning of the GI movement. One of the main tools in the GI movement was the development of underground GI newspapers. If you see Dave Geiger's film, Sir No Sir, you'll learn that there are over 300 around the world. In Killeen, Fort Hood, The fatigue press was created with a group of GIs and Jay providing the much-needed leadership and guidance. The fatigue press would not have existed without Jay. And I want you to imagine what Jay faced in Colleen and the Oleo Strut. A woman who was a leader, who was not out to take advantage of GIs, who demanded and won their respect. There's so much to say about the work at the Oleo Strut, but it's available in other places. Suffice it to say, no advance in the GI movement could have been possible without Jay Lockard. Immediately after that strut, we and two other people, we spent 3 years at the strut, and it was time to move on. One of the things I think that Jay and I were most proud of is that when we left, every male worker on the staff was an ex-GI from Fort Hood who decided that instead of going home, they were going to stay and help build the GI movement. Immediately after the strut, we and two other people drove across the country visiting over 15 GI organizing projects from Fort Dixon, New Jersey to Camp Pendleton in California. Jay and I responded to different demands of the movement. After a year, I moved to Birmingham. This was 1972, and there had begun to develop what became known as a new communist movement. I had been working with a group in Birmingham and started studying the literature. We were particularly drawn to the red papers of the Revolutionary Union, the predecessor of the Revolutionary Communist Party. Shortly after I got to Birmingham, Jay joined us, and we continued our journey. Jay was a founding member of the Revolutionary Communist Party. There had begun to be openings and big plants around Birmingham for women as a result of lawsuits that were filed. One of the largest just south of Birmingham in Bessemer was Pullman. This is where Aunt Billy and Jay ended up working. Jay was amongst the first 5 women to go to work there. Think about that. Over 2,000 workers and 5 women. In fact, relatives of one of Jay's co-workers, Billy, is here today, as you've heard. You see, Jay did not just organize. She formed these bonds that lasted years, always struggling to advance the movement, and to deepen the understanding of what it meant to be a revolutionary in the belly of the beast. After Birmingham, Jay was tasked with responsibilities, first in Atlanta and then here in Chicago. Although separated geographically, we continue to communicate. You know, in the course of a lifetime, we come in contact with many people. Some become lifelong friends and associates, but there are very few others who become a permanent presence in our lives. No matter where or when, it's almost wave-like a remembrance, a moment and time that you shared. This is how it is with Jay. She has been and always will be a powerful presence in many people's lives.
We have 3 more elements on this program. We're going to have someone play Father is Sleeping, but hold on just a moment. We're going to have Margie, Nana, give closing remarks, and then we're going to have a dance session at the end. But I did want to mention, just from the perspective of how history works, the 1968 Democratic Convention in Chicago, they planned on bringing the Army here. And there was talk in Fort Hood where the old truck was, about who was coming, who had orders to come here. And at one point, before they sent people, 43 black GIs held a meeting in a field which was attacked by the MPs. And they were arrested, but there was then a plan to pass out among the soldiers coming to Chicago I don't know if that Dago at that time, but a yellow sticker that had a white peace sign backed by a black fist that the soldiers would wear on their helmets to show that they identified with the protesters in Chicago. And they shipped them up to Chicago and they kept them in a reservoir. They would not deploy the soldiers because they could not be sure they would not go over to the protesters. And so the police, knowing they had no backup, acted with extreme violence and created a moment which arguably had a big impact on history. So, if we want to think about what difference putting something together like the Oleo strap made. Now you can't draw a straight line, but this is how the unsung heroes played an important role in making history. And we can remember Jay in many crucial moments. So now we will have I believe this gentleman rushed here from an earlier engagement down in the loop. So we're very fortunate that he felt this was important enough to go out of his way to get up here and do this for Jay. And I understand, and I don't want to take any fire from him, that he wrote this for his father when his father died. But he feels this is very appropriate for this occasion.
My name is Alpha Diallo, and I just want to say thank you very much for inviting me to bring my contribution to songs. I don't know Miss Gay, but I know her partner, Miss Nina. And often, as they say in Africa, the friends of your friends is your friend. So I see Jay as my friend. The song I'm going to sing is a song I wrote for my dad who passed away. And the name of the song is Baba Aniki. Baba Anike, if you translate it into English, means dad is sleeping. Because in Africa there is a way of viewing death. The death of somebody is not the end of that person. And one of the person who catch that philosophy, that idea, is a poet named Birago Job. And Birago Job wrote a poem about the dead. And basically he said, the dead are not dead. They are, you can see them in the sea, in the river that run. You can see them in the smile of a small child. You can see them in the trees. So is to just say, perhaps Miss J is not here physically, but I can feel through her spirit, she is among us. And we should acknowledge that we are here today together because of her. So she must be here. So without further ado, I'm going to sing this song, and the song is in Fulani. And I like to be in gatherings because whenever I feel like, whenever I go somewhere, I have opportunity to meet new people and learn from their experiences and learn something. And I hope this will be your opportunity to learn from me and me also being able to learn from you. So today I want you to go home with at least one word in Fulani. So I will ask you to sing that word with me, and I will be glad to be the one who share that word with you, and perhaps I, in some way, will be impacting your life. So the word is Aduna. 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 Aduna means life. So at certain point in my song, I will be singing Aduna, and I will just encourage you to sing it with me, so we can pool our energy together for Jim, who is around here. Thank you.
you very, very much. All right, now that's your moment. I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. This has been an amazing journey. Learning about Jay in all the many aspects of her life, from the time she was a teenager, up until when she finally went into assisted living. She was always challenging people, not just to get involved, but to become organizers themselves. And that was how I knew her. She recruited me into PRLF because she moved in with me, and we were roommates for 30 years. And we started out as individuals, and then we became friends, and then we became soul sisters. Somebody mentioned that she was a soul sister, and that's definitely the way that I felt about her. And it's really wonderful to have heard all the amazing stories about her life. And I learned many things from her, like how to control my anger when she got really annoying. And particularly around her chocolate addiction.
That's right.
So, in honor of Jay, we have a whole thing of chocolate over there, and everybody should take some chocolate. So, everybody should take some chocolate. Also, in honor of Jay, she really encouraged me in doing arts and crafts and making earrings. Yes, making earrings, which we have her earrings over here. Everyone who wants to should take the earrings, including men, take them for your female, or if you wear an earring, take an earring. And then finally, arts and crafts-wise, we had a number of people here who got very excited about this and decided to make pens, which are on the table, and everybody should take pens, and more than one, because we have these beautiful bouquets that people made. So we learned a lot from Jay. Are you sure the people from Sinfonietta don't want to come up and say something? All the Sinfonietta people? No? Okay. Oh, Paulette, you do too. Okay. Well, we learned a lot from Jay. And, I hope that we will take that with us, because as somebody said, she always challenged us to step up and speak out.
That's right.
And the way we celebrate her legacy is by continuing to do that. So thank you all very much for coming. And where's Alpha? We're ready for you now. Okay, so because she always would say it's important to stand up, so I want everybody to stand up.
Yeah.
We're going to stand up for our rights.
Yeah.
Right, Nina.
Okay.
Nina is asking me to lead one of her favorite songs, that is Get Up and Stand Up. lately, through my research, I basically come up with the idea, and I found on my own ways the equation of death. And through my research, the conclusion I come up with what is about death is basically sleep minus dream. So when we die, we sleep. So we should not be scared of dying. And we should always fight for our rights. We are not too old or we are not too young to fight for our rights. So we should always stand up for what we believe. If the price is to die, it's okay. We just sleep it, And so I'm going to play the song of Bob Marley. Sing along. It's a celebration, and feel free to sing. We all have beautiful voices.
And dance.
And dance.